Hello.
Yeah. Hi,
Nice,
teacher.
nice to
Nice to
see
meet you.
you. How are you today? Can you please tell me how are you?
Uh, I'm quite. Um, I think so. I'm was quite worried today for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because why? Because
Mm, because I booked an exams IELTS, but I think so. I didn't well prepare.
you. Mm-hmm. What happened? Can you please tell me what
Uh,
happened?
I don't know what happened. Um I have an exam in I think 2 days.
Mhm. In 2 days you will have exam. You will have.
Yes, I booked it to encourage myself, but now I am so worried.
Why? Why are you worried? Why? What happened?
Because I'm not so confident.
Not confident. But you're
Yes.
speaking. But you're speaking with me, so you have a confidence when you are speaking with me. So what is the problem?
Do you think that I'm confident?
Yes, but when you speak with me, you have confidence. So what is the problem? I don't understand what you want to say. What is the
Uh,
problem? Why you don't have confidence?
I think that I maybe when I speak uh, uh, I don't speak fluently, but I can get by. But listening is so bad for me.
Listening is bad. Why? Why do you
Uh,
think?
Today I try to do an IELTS exam on internet, and I got 5.5 point.
Yes, but this is on the internet. Okay, it's much different when you, for example, when you're doing this exam, with some people. Okay, so it's a little bit different. Okay, so
Maybe.
don't be judging on yourself so much. Okay, so
Yes.
just this is just okay. Try to relax your brain. Try to not to do that. And when do you have this exam? On Saturday? Do you have on Saturday this exam?
Yes, on Saturday.
When do you have?
Uh, yes, yes, not Saturday. I think on from 8 o'clock, maybe it's 9 o'clock in I 9 a.m.
In 9 a.m. Oh,
Yes,
okay. Just
but
when you. Mhm.
I think so. I want to try an exam, and I have book another exam at the end of this month.
Mhm. Don't be
In
don't be
addition,
don't be afraid. This is just a process. You're learning your exercise. This is just a process. So don't worry about this. This is just okay. So we like any other activity. Okay, like any other activity. When you train, when you do something. Okay, so you need to exercise. So this is just an exercise, so don't worry about this. Okay, I know maybe it looks stressful to you,
yeah, quite
but don't.
confident.
Okay, so yes, I just want to share you something with you. I just want to tell you to boost your confidence. Okay, so I didn't know to speak English. Like I learned to speak English like you. So I learned also like you. I didn't know to speak English. So English is not my native language. So
Yeah.
I just learned to speak English. But you're not better or worse than me. We are on the same level. So if I can learn to
Yeah.
speak English, if I can learn to speak English, you can also learn to speak English. It's
Yes,
simple.
thank you very much. Yeah,
Yes,
I hope so.
and you have one big advantage. You have one big advantage. I know. I heard that your language is very difficult for people from other countries to learn your language. I heard
Yes.
that. Yes, but you know to speak Vietnamese. I don't know to speak Vietnamese.
Yes, no
That
problem.
right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, that is right. Okay, so you know to speak. This is you know to speak one complicated language. English is not so complicated, but Vietnamese is complicated. So you manage to develop yourself to speak English very fluently. So this
Yeah.
is but you can speak also Vietnamese. So
Yes,
it's
I hope so.
yes. So this is what is happening all the time. So don't worry about this. This is all the time when you are practicing, when you are having difficulties or something. Remember that you know to speak one really complicated language. So this is
Yes.
your advantage. This is your big advantage comparing to other people. Okay, so you can learn to speak any other language, but let's put like this. Okay, maybe I will never learn to speak Vietnamese, but you will learn to speak English. That is your big advantage comparing to me. That right?
Yes. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
yes,
Yes, for
yes. No
encourage
problem.
me. Yeah.
Yes, yes, no problem. And what is similar? What is similar, for example, with English? Any other Western country language is very similar to English, but
Yeah.
your language is unique.
Yes.
So now, okay, so we can start. So don't worry about this. And just one more thing I want to tell you. Okay, two things. Sorry, two things I want to tell you. First thing, when you finish your exam, just text me, and I will be online in 9 a.m. I think no, I will not be online. I will sleep, but probably in a couple of hours after that, I will read the message what happened. So just text me when you finish your exam. Text me, and I want to see. I want to hear what happened.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
And yes, and on Saturday I will be off. I cannot have a class. I will be off because I have some things to do with my family. So
Yeah.
I will be off. Okay.
Yes. No
On
problem.
on yes, on Sunday we can do makeup class if you want. On
Yeah. Okay.
Sunday, on Sunday
Okay.
instead of Saturday we will do on Sunday if you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's depend
Okay.
on you. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, so we can start. We have here a really nice and interesting topic. Okay, so day by day transportation. Okay, so I will share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Mm, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I just want to ask you before we start. Can you please tell me what transportation do you like to use? What type of transportation do you like to use? Can you please tell me?
Ah, I think so. I'm fan of using bicycle.
Bicycle. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Because
and
because it's instead of doing exercise and I can drive my bicycle to go to work and I think that it's not only good for my health but also it's good for environment.
And how about motorbike? I know that a lot of people in Vietnam are using motorbikes. Do you like to use motorbikes?
I have my private motorbike as most Vietnamese, but I don't like it because it emits a lot of emission, um, harmful emissions in to the air. So I think that it's a hard it's detrimental for environment.
hmm Okay. And what other types of transportation do you like to use? Can you please tell me?
Maybe airplane. I think a bit because it can fly so very fast and I can go so everywhere in the world in a short time.
In a short time, you can go anywhere. Okay, very nice. And can you please tell me? Yes, we have airplanes. We have. Okay, and can you please tell me what other vehicles, for example, you would like to use? Okay.
Sometimes sometimes I would like to public transportation for public transport. For example, bus or trains, because I can go with my friend, my family. I think it can contain a lot of people, and it saves energy. I think that it's quite good for environment.
Quite good for environment. Okay, and what is the best vehicle that we can use for traveling? Can you please tell me what can be the best vehicle for traveling when we want to travel?
For traveling, I think um, if I can, if I have a private car, I think it's very convenient, because we our family can travel around my countries, and not depend on others transport.
Okay, not okay. Very nice. Okay, and what is something that you can depend on? Okay, can you please tell me what is something that you can depend on? Okay, what transportation, for example, is convenient for you? Let's say in your city, when you are in your city, what transportation is really good? For example, in your city, when you are in
Yeah,
your city. Okay, can you please tell?
in my city, I think buses are very well, and it's very convenient for the traveler, because there are a lot of parking point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so it's easy for us to get in and out.
Mm-hmm. To get in and out. Okay, very nice. Now we will learn here about uh, okay, transportation problems. Okay, can you please read this discussion? Can you please read this question for me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Discussion what are transport problem is the town or the city, and what solution to these problems. I think the most problems in for transportation in my city is traffic congestions.
Mhm.
um, every
Uh,
day when I get up, and sometimes I get up late, quite late,
mhm.
and I want to come back. I want to go to my company, but it takes only, I think only 10 minutes. It The transport is good, but every day there is jam. Uh, there is a transport congestions in our city, so it always take me I think about half 1 hours to get my company. So I think it's quite terrible for everyone. So I often get up. I have to get up early, because when I get up early, it's easy for me to go.
It's easy. It's easy for you to go. Okay, on any other okay transportation, it's easy to go. Okay, and can you please tell me? Yes, we have some problems here. Okay, can you please tell me what other problems are really?
I think the the air in our city is very bad. It's all the way in red condition.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so these are problems that we can have. Okay, now let's
I
take a look.
think
Okay,
yeah.
now, okay, and I asked you the first question. Okay, now can you please read the second and the third question for me? Can you please read this
Yes,
question? Hmm.
yes. Uh, have this have this problem ever happened to you? Did you feel about it? Um, Traffic congestion. Yeah, I think. Mm, it's always happen in my country, and very the street is very noisy. I think we often see it every day.
Okay, and what is happening? Okay, why do you have these problems? Let's say why these problems are so common? Can you please tell me why?
I think because maybe the government cannot build more roads to get up with the needs for transportation which the government need.
Mhm. With the government, what government needs? Okay, what are their needs? Okay, very nice. Okay, now let's see. Okay, and can you please describe these pictures? Okay, so what can you see here in these pictures? Can you please tell me what is something that you can see it? For
Uh,
example, in these pictures, can you please tell me what can you see it?
I can see that a lot of people in the roads and they they go in not their right road. I
Mhm.
think, for example, on the car roads, but a lot of people working on it.
Okay, so a lot of people are working on it. Okay, very nice. Now let's have a look. Okay, that was really nice. Okay, now let's see. Okay, what do we have more here? Okay, now we have here uh this word. Okay, can you please read this word for me? What can you see it here?
That's our.
Rush hour. Rush hour. Okay, so do you know the meaning of the word rush hour? Do you know what means
Um,
the word rush hour?
I think that's our a lot of people go to in the road.
Mhm. Okay, when a
Take
lot of
part in, yes, take part in transport.
problems with transport. Okay, and what would you do if you are in the middle of rush hour? Okay, so what is something that you can do, for example, if you are in the middle of rush hour? What can you do?
I try to avoid just hours. For example, I get up early to go to my office before the just hour, nearly 8 a.m.
Okay, very nice. Okay, and can you try to make a sentence with word rush hour? Use word
Uh,
rush hour.
I
Make a
I
sentence.
Yes, I had the rush hour in my city, so I always try to avoid it.
Mhm. Okay, now let's take a look. Okay, now we have here something that is interesting. Can you please tell me what can you see here?
Crossroad, crossroad,
Mhm. So what do you think about
crossroad.
this crossroad? Can a rush hour happen here in this crossroad? Can you please tell me what do you think? Can a rush hour happen on this crossroad?
I think people have to be cautious because
Cautious, cautious. People need to be
cautious,
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 cautious. Hmm.
cautious, cautious, because it's easy to have an accident.
Okay, accident.
Accident.
Hmm.
Accident.
Okay, so it's easy. Okay, accident can happen here really easily. Okay, and can you try to make a sentence with word crossroad? Use word crossroad and make a
Yes.
sentence.
There are a lot of crossroads in my city, uh, because there are a lot um, of resident areas.
Okay, pedestrians. Okay, and what would you do, for example, if there is a okay, if you have a lot of uh, okay pedestrians here? What would you do, for example? What is something that you can do if there are a lot of pedestrians on the crossroad? What can you do?
I think so. We have to wait for the green light and go past.
Hmm. Okay, and go back. Okay, and what do you think about this crossroad here in this picture? What do you think about this crossroad? Is this
Mm,
crossroad busy? What do you think?
yes, I think it's quite busy.
Hmm.
A lot
Okay.
of cars on the roads.
Okay, so there are a lot of cars on the roads. Okay, and can you try to make one more sentence with word crossroad? Use word
Mm.
crossroad. Can you try
I
to make?
Yeah, I often said to my children be cautious when they want to cross the crossroad.
When they want to have a okay, when they
Have
want to go. Okay, now let's take a look here. Okay, now this. Okay, can you please read this word?
pavement,
Pavement.
pavement,
Okay.
pavement,
Okay.
pavement,
Okay.
pavement. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so we have here pavement. Okay, and in this picture, can you please tell me what can you see it? What can you see
I can
here?
see a lot of people working on the pavement.
Okay, very nice. And what do you think about this? Do you have pavement, for example, in your city, that people can walk only on pavement? Do you have something like this in your city?
Um, yes, on pavement is often used for people to walk on it, but sometimes a lot of people um, display their product to sell on it. So there a little a filter area on the pavements in our streets for people to work.
Okay, and can you try to make a sentence with word pavement? Okay, can you try to?
I think the government should have a policeman to make clean the pavement.
Mhm.
Pavement. Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Now let's take a look here. Okay, traffic jam. Oh, this is something that is not good. Okay, so we have here traffic jam. What do you think about? What is your opinion about traffic jam? Okay, in your city, do you have a traffic jam in your city? Can you please tell me?
There are a lot of traffic jams in my city. Every people take part in the transport can see it.
Mhm. Okay, and what do you think about this traffic jam in this picture? What is your opinion about this traffic jam here in this city? Can you please tell me? Well,
I think I see the picture. It look like in my country, uh, a lot of car and motorbikes in on the same streets.
okay, and how we can stop the traffic jam? What is something that we can do to improve our traffic? What do you think? So what we can do to improve our traffic? Okay.
Mm, to solve this problem, I think it's very difficult and it's maybe diploma when the government want to make the roads wider, they have to stop the transport for it to repair. But some other roads will be more traffic jam.
Okay, there will be more traffic jam. Okay. Now, and can you try to make a sentence with word traffic jam? Use word traffic jam and make a sentence. Can you try to do that for me, please?
Um, Traffic jam is a heavy problem for every government.
Every government. Okay, very nice. Traffic jam. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, that was really nice. Now let's take a look here. Okay. Now, can you please tell me what can you see here in this picture? What can you see it?
Overcrowding.
Overcrowding. Okay, so what is overcrowding here in this picture? What can be
Mm, I
overcrowding here?
I can see the trains, but it's not enough accommodation for um, all people.
Okay, and we have here in trains, subway stations. Okay, so we have overcrowding. Okay, and what do you think about this? Do you have transportation like this in your city? Do you have something like this in your city? Can you please tell me? In your city, do you have a subway? Can you please tell me? Do you have a subway?
Mm, um, I I uh, I often see the overcrowding in in my buildings live.
Okay, and what we can do to stop overcrowding? Okay, so what is something that we can do to stop overcrowding? Can you please tell me? What can we do?
I think that I take the stair instead of the lift to stop overcrowding.
Okay. Okay, and can you make a sentence with word overcrowding?
Yes. Um, I think the uh, overcrowding is a bad condition for everywhere in my city. For example, or especially on occasion holiday, we have a lot of people on the bus.
Mhm. Okay, so we have a lot of people on the bus or on the train. Okay, so
On
we
the
have
train.
here public transportation. Okay, so what are some public transportations that you have, for example, in your city? Can you please tell me? Tell me what type of the public transportations do you have in your
Uh,
city? Can you please tell me?
there there are a lot of public transportation in my city. For example, the train, the bus,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, I think the public bicycle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and which public transportation is the most popular? Can you please
I
tell me?
think the bus is popular in my city.
Okay, and why?
I
Why?
think because it's quite cheap and there are not of universities in the center, so the student often get it.
Okay, now let's see. Okay, so we okay, and can you try to make a sentence with word public transportation? Use word public transportation and make a sentence. Can you try to do that?
Uh, government should um, uh, government should
Should
makes
should
a should
government should.
should yeah the government should makes a lot of more public transportation to solve the traffic jam.
To solve a traffic jam. Okay, sure. Now let's see. We already make a sentences here. Okay, now it takes me 2 hours to get to work by car. Okay, so how much time do you need, for example, to come from your home to your work? So how much
Yes,
time do you need? For
it
example,
takes me about 10 minutes in to get my to get home from my work if is if is not in rush hour.
if it's not rush hour, okay, just
It's
10
not rush
minutes.
hour.
Okay, so you need the 10 minutes. Okay, and can you please tell me, yes, this is something that is good. Okay, and if there is a rush hour, how much time do you need if there is a rush hour?
Oh,
Okay.
may it depends on maybe 1 hour or more.
1 hour or more. Okay. Okay, very nice. Okay, and for example, from your home to the airport, how much time do you need, for example, from your home to the airport when you
I
want to?
think it's maybe the only 30 or 40 maybe 40 minutes
Mhm,
to get the airport.
mhm. Okay, very nice. Now, let's see. Okay, now we have here what is the most popular public transportation in Vietnam? Can you please
Mm,
tell me? What
I think
public?
the most public transportation in my country maybe bus or train.
Okay, why bus and why train or bus? Why
Uh,
this is the most
uh,
popular transportation?
train because it's easy to go from the south and the north, and it's taking low cost. And in every city, for example, in in my city, um, there are a lot of bus because it's convenient for students and our the elderly to get in and to go get around the city.
Mhm. Okay. And which one do you prefer? Do you prefer train or do you prefer bus? Okay, can you please tell me which one do you prefer? Which
It's
one?
it's depend on where I want to go. For example, if I want to go in a um, short way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a short way. I think I chose a bus because there are not a bus stops. But sometimes I choose the trains when I want to go to another province.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, okay, so games. Okay, so we have here games. Okay, I want to ask you about, I didn't mention so far. Can you please tell me about, okay, ship. What do you think about traveling by ship? Do you
Yes,
think,
ah,
mhm,
yes. Sometimes I remember that last year I took a trip when I went to Hạ Long Bay.
mhm, okay. So is it convenient to travel with ship in your
Yes,
country?
it's convenient, and I think maybe it's the only way to get some islands in the sea.
Okay. So now let's take a look. Okay, now you will hear five people talking about transportations. Okay, so I just want to ask you the common problems, for example, in your city. What are some common problems about transportation in your city? Can you please tell me? What are some
Hmm.
common problems about
Uh,
transportation in your city?
there, there are a lot of problem in my city transportation. I
Mhm,
think that the most popular problem is traffic congestion, because in this city there are a lot of people come
mhm,
to find job and living because they from they are rural exodus and they come to the city for earning. So there our metropolitan are so crowded. So I think the traffic congestion is unavoidable.
mhm,
um, and I think the second problem is related to the first problem, and maybe in addition there are some factories and maybe a lot of cars, so it makes the polluted the air.
pollute the air. Okay, now let's take a look. Okay, so we have here. Okay, we heard. Okay, solution. Okay, and what is the solution, for example, for problems when we are having, let's say, okay, polluted air? How we can stop polluting air, in your opinion? So, what is something that we can do to stop polluting air? Can you please tell me?
uh,
Mhm,
I think maybe uh, grows a lot of more trees,
mhm,
and use more public transportation
mhm.
to
Oh,
decrease the private car. Um,
mhm.
Maybe the government should produce more clean energy.
Clean energy. Okay, and how we can make how we can produce how we can make a clean energy? What is something that we can do to if we want to have a clean energy? Can you please tell me?
Um, I think um, I think that the government can make clean energy from green gas, and decompositions rubbish.
Hmm.
I think it's one of the best way to make cleaner the city. It's a reduce rubbish and have a more energy to use.
More energy to use. Okay. Now we have here. Okay. This text.
For I can I can explain more about it. So I think
Yes, sure.
yes,
Okay.
I think the government yes I think the government should build more power plants um, to take harmful methane gas created by decomposition of rubbish and convert it into electricity, for example.
Convert to electricity. Yes, I think that I understand. And what do you think about sun energy or hydro energy? Hydro means water. What do you think about these two types of the energy? So we have sun energy and hydro energy. What do you think about these two?
Um, Pardon, can you explain more?
Okay, we have here sun energy, energy from the sun. Okay, and we have hydro
Yes, yes,
energy.
I know.
Hydro energy means water energy. So what do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about these
I
two?
think I think the energy from the sun is very good because we don't use any resources into the it,
Mhm.
and we use the energy outside the it from the sun. So I think that it's the good ways to keep the earth green.
Mhm. Okay. Now we will read this dialogue. Okay, so you will be Jesse and I will be Joy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my, you're back. It's nice to see you again, Jesse.
Yes, it's nice to see you again too. How you been, Joy? How have you been, Joy?
Everything is pretty well. So where are we going?
Actually, we need to get my hotel for check-in. Do you know how we can how we can get there?
There are taxis, buses, and motorbikes that we can take.
I see. My hotel is on White Gate Street. Could you give
White Castle Street. White
White
Castle.
Castle, White Castle Street? Could you give me some
Suggestions.
suggestion?
Mhm. It depends. Let me see. Your hotel is quite far from here. The best way to get there is by taxi. It takes you an hour to go to the hotel, and it's convenient to as you can put your luggage in the trunk. Okay. Okay, now
Uh,
continue.
but I worry about traffic jam. Are there any other means of transportation?
Well, we can take the subway train.
Cool. How do we get there?
The subway is a couple of levels down from where are we standing. It takes only 10 minutes to walk there.
Yeah, okay. So the train it is. Thanks for the advice. And well then, what are we waiting for?
Okay, we can use the escalator over there to go down.
Let's go.
Okay, so we have here subway train. So can you please tell me what do you think about when we are using subway train? Hmm?
Subway train. I think that I remember that I took the subway train when I visited the Japanese. So it's drove very fast. I think that maybe 300 kilometers per hour.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what do you think about a subway train in your city? So
Mm,
is this convenient, for example, to have a subway train in your city?
yes,
But
there is not subway trains in my city now. I think so because I think I can see if the train go very slow.
mhm. Okay, and why the train go very slow in your city? Can you please
Uh,
tell me?
I think so, because maybe the government have not enough money to build the subway trains. We I heard that the government prepared to build it.
To build it. Okay, now let's take a look here. Okay, based on dialogue. Okay, situation. Your friend ask you directions to a place. Okay, so how would you give me directions from your home to your school? Can you please tell me how would you give directions from your home to your school?
um I think it's very easy for you to go from my school to my home. You can take the bus number 8, and you can ask the driver to get you down at I think maybe mm, the Giải phóng Street, near the corner of Kim Dong and Giải phóng, and you can go down and you can see some our building.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very nice. Okay, so this is something that we can do. Okay, now let's take a look here. Okay, now okay, we have here this question. Can you please read this question and give me your answer?
Uh, do you use public transportation? Yes, I do. I often take the bus to get around in my city. It's very convenient and very cheap. I prefer go to my work by bus too, because there are bus stops at my office and also at my home. I use public transportation every day, and but there is a need to charge to use other charges to use um uh, but I think that is only one transportation public transportation I can choose in my city, because it's not convenient for me if I choose the trains. It's
Mm-hmm.
its bus is very far from my home.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very nice. Now let's take a look here. Okay, now can you please read the question number one? The first question. Can you please read this question and give me your answer? Can you please read this question and give me your answer?
What are the transportation problem in your city? What are the consequences and solutions for these problems? I
Mm-hmm.
think the most problem in my city for transportation is a traffic jam. I think that it's a very difficult problem to solve for not only government but also the driver, including me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I can contribute. I can contribute some my efforts. For example, I try to take public transportation instead of a private motorbike, and I try to keep our city more greener by taking bicycle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and can you please tell me, yes, this is something that is nice. Okay, and what are consequences? Can you please tell me what are consequences of this problem that you're having? What are some consequences that you can have? Can you please tell me? What are some consequences
Um,
that you can have, for example, on your uh, let's say on the public transportation? What are some consequences that you may have?
I think so, when when I take when I take my bicycle instead of my motorbike or public transportation, I think I do not give harmful emissions in the air. So if a lot of people do the same me, we can keep our city more cleaner, and I think it's more attractive for foreigner.
Mhm. Okay, very nice. Okay, now let's take a look. Okay, do you feel safe when you use public transportation? Can you please tell me how do you feel when
Yeah.
you? Mhm,
Yes, I think it's a very sad because I think the driver is all driver are well trained.
mhm. Okay, okay, and what do you think? Okay, what other let's say are ways of using transportation we can use? Okay, so do you have, for example, we have here motorbikes. What do you think about motorbikes? Is it safe to use motorbikes in your city? Can you please tell me?
Mm. There are a lot of motorbike in my city, and
Mhm.
I think it's not quite safe, because the city is so crowded, so we cannot keep enough distance to other.
Mhm. Okay, and what we can do to be safe? What we can do to be safe?
I think I think no way for me.
Mm,
But I can get up early and go to the streets in why has a few people, and I can keep distance from other motorbike.
mhm. Okay, now let's see. Number four. Can you please read the question number four?
How to get more people to use public transportation?
Mhm,
I think it's I think that the government should decrease the fee of public transportation, and maybe there are a lot of bus, and a lot of
mhm.
stop bus.
Okay,
Yes,
so
bus stops.
what we can do to increase? Okay, mhm. What we can do to increase public transportation? Okay, so what is something that we can do to increase public transportation? Can you please tell me what is
Yes,
something?
I think when decrease the fee tickets,
Mhm,
I think more people who in poverty can use it, and for the government can make the public transportation more convenient for everyone, and they can build more bus stops, and buy more bus to people can take everywhere and every time.
mhm. Every time. Okay, now we have here what have you learned today? Okay, so we learned about rush hour. Okay, so what do you think? What is your opinion? We have rush hour at Crossroad. Okay, can you please tell me about rush hour in your city? Okay,
Um,
okay. So is it often to have a rush hour, for example, in your city? Is that
in
often? Mhm.
uh, in uh, in rush hour in my city, the traffic on the way. There is a traffic jam. There is always traffic jam.
There is always a traffic jam. Okay, and what can you do when there is a traffic jam? For example, what is something that you can do when there is a traffic jam in your
Where
city?
the first I try to avoid it by don't take part take part in the public transport the transport in rush hour and the second the second thing that I think that I can do is I use more public transportation instead of my private motorbike or my private my car.
Okay. Now let's see. And how much time do you need? Okay, it takes. How much time do you need, for example, when you want to go, for example, from your home to your to another city, for example, where do you live? Can you please tell me where do you live? Where?
um uh where I need.
Yes, where do you live now? Where do you live
Yes,
now?
I live in an apartment
No, in which
in the
city? Sorry, my mistake. In which city do you live? In which city do you
ah
live? Mm-hmm.
I live in metropolitan city in Vietnam. It's
Hanoi,
yeah,
Hanoi,
yeah.
or in Hanoi,
Hanoi.
or and how much time do you need, for example, if you want to go from Hanoi to
Hmm.
Ho Chi Minh City? How much time do you need if you want to
Um,
go from
I I think so it takes about 2 hours.
2 hours by airplane? By airplane.
Airplane, yes, by airplane.
Okay, so it takes 2 hours. Okay, so now, and can you please tell me which city would you like, for example, to visit out from your country that is not located in your country? Which foreign country and city would you like to visit? Do you have?
City in my country or another country.
Yes, in another country. Okay, so which city would?
Another country.
Mm,
I think maybe New York, for example.
Europe. Oh, why Europe? Why did you choose
Uh,
Europe?
because it's quite famous, and I think I see a lot of picture from it. It's so beautiful, and the air so fresh.
Air is so fresh. Okay, so we finished our class. Now, are you convenient? Are you now? How do you feel now? Do you feel hmm,
I feel better.
better? Of course, of course. Okay, that is really nice.
And what about you?
I
How
feel much
about your
better.
flu?
Yeah, it's much better now. It's much better now. I don't have any flu. I don't sneeze. I don't cough. I drink tea. Just
Yes,
yes, and it's okay. I don't have any problems. I think
yes,
that
I hope so.
tomorrow will be last day that I will not have any problems with my flu.
Yes.
So no worries. Okay, so see you tomorrow at the same time.
Tomorrow, yes, maybe. Yeah, okay.
Okay, and on Saturday we will have day off. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay, and after this we can continue Sunday and etc. So we will. Okay.
Yes. Okay, teacher.
No problem. I know it's late in your country. I wish you a good night. Sleep well, and
Yes.
I hope to see you soon. Okay.
I guess I hope to see you soon.
Bye
Bye bye,
bye.
teacher.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Yes.
You're welcome. Bye bye.